Before we begin today's heartwarming story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another unforgettable tale from the Old West. Imagine being a widow in the 1800s with nothing but your young daughter, no money, no home, and nowhere to turn. Desperate for work, one brave woman knocks on every ranch door, until one lonely cowboy makes a decision that changes all of their lives forever. This is a powerful story of hope, kindness, sacrifice, and second chances that will stay with you until the very end. Now let's get started. Part 1. 150 Words. In the autumn of 1884, across the rolling plains of Montana, USA, young widow Clara Bennett arrived at the dusty town of Willow Creek with her 8-year-old daughter, Emily. Her husband had died in a railroad accident, leaving them with nothing but a worn suitcase and fading hope. Hungry and exhausted, Clara walked from ranch to ranch, asking for honest work. Most doors closed before she finished speaking. Some men laughed, claiming a woman with a child would only slow them down. At the edge of town stood the weathered ranch of Ethan Calloway, a quiet cowboy who had lived alone since losing his fiancée years before. When Clara asked for work instead of charity, Ethan noticed the determination in her eyes. Though unsure, he offered her a week's work, cooking and cleaning. Neither of them realized that this simple act of kindness would begin changing both of their lonely lives forever. Part 2. 150 Words. During the following weeks, Clara worked from sunrise until dark, never complaining despite the endless chores. Emily helped feed the chickens, and soon filled the silent ranch with laughter Ethan had not heard in years. Slowly, the lonely cowboy found himself smiling again. He repaired Emily's broken toy horse and taught her to ride a gentle mare across the fields. When a wealthy ranch owner tried to force Clara into marrying him by threatening her job, Ethan stepped forward without hesitation. He declared that Clara and Emily already had a home on his ranch and would never face hardship alone again. Months later, beneath the wide Montana sky, Ethan and Clara were married in a small church surrounded by neighbors. What began as a widow's desperate search for work became a story of faith, family, and second chances that the town remembered for generations. The first week on Ethan Calloway's ranch passed faster than any of them expected. Before sunrise each morning, Clara was already in the kitchen baking fresh bread, preparing hearty meals and keeping the ranch house spotless. She never complained, even after spending long hours washing clothes, mending torn shirts, and caring for the garden. Ethan quietly noticed that the lonely house, once filled with dust and silence, now smelled of warm biscuits and fresh coffee. Emily quickly became everyone's favorite. She gathered eggs from the chicken coop, fed the calves with careful hands, and followed Ethan through the fields, asking endless questions about horses and ranch life. At first, Ethan answered with only a few words, but before long he found himself smiling at the little girl's curiosity. One afternoon, he repaired Emily's broken wooden toy horse, carefully carving a new wheel for it. When she hugged him and called him Mr. Ethan, something long forgotten stirred inside his heart. As the weeks turned into months, the ranch flourished. Clara's hard work brought order to the household, while Ethan focused on expanding the cattle business. The neighbors began talking about how different the once lonely ranch had become. Laughter echoed through the yard again, and lights stayed on in the evenings as the three shared simple dinners together. Not everyone was pleased. Harold Briggs, a wealthy ranch owner from the next valley, had been watching Clara for some time. Believing that money could buy anything, he rode to Ethan's ranch and demanded that Clara leave to work for him. When she politely refused, Harold's face darkened. "You'll regret saying no," he warned. "A widow with no land has no future." Before Clara could answer, Ethan stepped between them. "She isn't alone anymore," Ethan said firmly. "She works here because she's earned her place. If you have business, take it somewhere else." Harold glared at Ethan, but eventually turned his horse and rode away without another word. That evening, Clara thanked Ethan for defending her. Ethan looked across the quiet fields and realized the truth he had hidden from himself for months. "You and Emily turned this house into a home," he admitted. "I don't want to lose either of you." With tears in her eyes, Clara smiled. The following spring, the little church in Willow Creek was filled with neighbors as Ethan and Clara exchanged vows beneath blooming wildflowers. Emily stood proudly beside them, holding a bouquet almost as big as she was. The lonely cowboy had found a family, and the widow who had once searched only for a job had found love, safety, and a place to call home. Together, they proved that even after life's greatest heartbreaks, hope can still arrive when kindness opens the right door.